talking about a subtle heart. And our scripture today is going to be Proverbs chapter 7, verse 10. And Sandy, could you read that for us, please?
Sure. And behold, there met him a woman with the attire of a harlot and subtle of heart.
All right. Now, no, we're in the book of Proverbs, and so this is a book of wisdom.
Right.
And Sandy, share with us, what does this word subtle mean? How would you define that?
Okay. Sly, artful, cunning, crafty, insinuating,
Okay.
and deceitful,
Ooh.
and treacherous.
That describes a harlot.
Pretty good.
Pretty much a harlot, yeah. Very deceptive. A subtle is someone that's very meticulous in their strategy on how they're going to approach you to do the damage that they want to do to you. It's kind of like, remember in Genesis, Sandy, in Genesis 3, remember when the serpent came to Eve?
Right.
The scripture said he came what? Subtle. He was one of the most subtle creatures. So this harlot here in the scripture, the wisdom that we're getting out of here is that it says, and behold, there met him a what? Woman. And notice it said she had the attire of a harlot.
Right.
So back in those days, you could distinguish who was who. You knew a harlot.
Right.
Kind of like today, back in the 70s when I came to California, I knew nothing about prostitutes. But when I came to California at 18, I could tell a prostitute on San Pablo in Oakland.
Right.
Because of the way that
Dressed.
they were dressed.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Too much showing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But you know what, Sandy? Not only does this word subtle comes in the attire of the outside of a person, but also that the subtle of an individual, their deception can also come from within.
Correct.
Your motives.
Right, and how they speak.
Yes.
Because it says also a subtle, like an argument. They can be boisterous, and they can try to manipulate and coerce you with their words. So,
Right.
yeah.
It's kind of like where we get the word advertisement from. When you see commercials,
Right.
they're very subtle in their approach, aren't they?
Correct.
They got to be smooth talking. They got to get the colors right. They got to get the lighting right. Because they got to get that message to you in a subtle way to make you go out and buy
what they want.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it's no different with people's motives. For you to buy their ideas, people, they're very subtle in their ideology.
Right.
It makes me think of like the communists. Back then, during World War II and World War I, they were very subtle in their strategy in order to propagate their ideology
Right.
of hatred.
Correct.
Yeah.
And it's sort of like what's going on in America right now.
Ooh.
They want to give you everything, but that then controls you.
Mm-hmm.
And they're offering you food stamps. In one country, I can't remember the name of it, but now it's over in Europe. They want to offer everyone $2,400 a month to stay home and do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So this is like a socialist, because
Right.
then once you agree to receiving their money, then they control you.
Right.
Because there's no freedom.
Right.
Yeah, so if say they don't want to give it to you anymore, then what?
Mhm.
So the subtlety of offering something that could have consequences
Yes.
behind it.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And if we don't have that discernment of the Spirit of God in us, the enemy, Satan been at this subtlety for many years. So he's good at his craft. I like the word that you use, crafty.
Right.
So he's good at his craft. He's perfected it. And if you're not wise enough, he can deceive you.
Correct.
With his subtlety.
Correct.
Making things appear to be good, but behind the scenes, he has his own motive
Right.
of working his wickedness.
Right.
And isn't it interesting that this scripture would show us the subtlety of a woman? So it's just not men that can be crafty, but women can be crafty as well.
Correct.
This goes both ways.
Right.
Mhm.
Right. To manipulate you into their little surrounding life of what they want to achieve from you, what they want out of you. It's just like a relationship. Women can be users also in
That's right.
relationships, men too.
That's right.
So like they suck you in with their beauty and with what they offer you.
Right.
But yet.
You know what? Ooh, it just reminded me of this situation now that's going on with this famous singer, R. Kelly. Look at what's happening with him, with those young women, with those young girls, and how he got them. How was it? Subtlety.
Correct.
See, with the charisma that he had, with the music background, with where he came from, he had the riches, he had the fame, and so to get these young girls to be under his control, he had to do it how? Subtly.
Correct.
It had to be a subtle thing, and once you get their confidence, then you got them.
Right.
Isn't that what Satan, the serpent, did with Adam and Eve?
And about money too, because there was a portion that they were stating, whether it's true or not, that the parents were offered to wanting to get money for, like selling their daughters, and that happens throughout the world when, like in Italy and different countries, when they're starving and they have no money, they
sell their children.
Yeah.
Well, you know, they did that in biblical days too.
Yeah.
It's right here in the Bible. When the Israelites was in captivity and there was no food left and it was a famine in the city in Jerusalem, they sold their kids.
Right.
And then if they couldn't sell them, then they would eat them. Cannibalism.
Yes.
Yeah. Subtle.
Wow.
So this subtle heart, this is a heart condition. When we're dealing with individuals, have that smooth talking, that charisma in them, you better be careful, because there's a underlying motive behind what they're telling you, So that's why we got to be in the Word and have the Spirit to guide us. So when those charlatans come, those charismatic speakers come, you don't just accept what they say. You better do some investigating.
Right, because we were on a trip with my daughter and granddaughter. A lady offered my granddaughter to go free on a zip line, and that's enticing a young person, and she was by herself. So if she had not been thinking, she could have been put in a bad situation.
Absolutely.
Because maybe they wanted to steal her,
right.
Like they're doing right now. Every day on the news, our young children are missing everywhere.
Right.
They're missing. They go to the movies, they don't come home.
That's right.
So you have to beware and teach your children to be careful, not to be enticed by anyone.
That's right.